Well, it is 6:30, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. As I get started, I realize people may still come on in. And I would just want to do a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? And can everybody see the PowerPoint? All right. As of right now, you guys could unmute your microphones at any time you want to share your thoughts. And then you could unmute them at any time that you want to share. Muting your microphone just helps cut down the background noise. So please just keep that into consideration as we begin our live session. So tonight's agenda looks like this. We will have welcome and introductions. I will go over live classroom expectations, important reminders, checking in, course project for lesson plan part 4, learning styles and teaching strategies. And then if we get time, we will go over chapter 8 case study. And I say if we get time because there is a lot of material to cover. And just to let you guys all know that my internet has been being a little wonky. It keeps going in and out, so hopefully I don't lose you guys during the live session. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. But having said that, so let's just go ahead and get started. Introductions. So as most of you guys know, my name is Mike Hager, and I reside in the state of Colorado. My favorite children's book from time to time kind of differs. Right now, my current favorite book is Sleepy Squirrel. It's about a book from the 80s about a squirrel who's getting ready for bed, who insists that she's not sleepy. I do like this book because I like to read it with my little child, Annika, and kind of reminds me of her because she says that she's not sleepy and she is sleepy and she gets really cranky actually, which is kind of funny. Anyways, I just want you guys to participate. Please unmute your microphones. Once again, I like to hear you guys' voice. It makes it a little bit more interactive instead of just typing in the chat box.
I am Jennifer and from Minnesota, and our favorite books are Pete the Cat and Dr. Seuss. We have pretty much every single one of them.
Nice. What Dr. Seuss book do you like the best?
We like Wacky Wednesday, or the Places You Will Go. I mean, it really depends, but we really get fun with the Wacky Wednesday, and that's our time to kind of get a little wacky during the day when winter is long.
Nice. And it's great because tomorrow's Wednesday. Maybe you'll read the book, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks for sharing, Jennifer.
Yep.
My name is Jackie, and I am from a suburb of Chicago in Illinois. And one of our favorite books are Brown Bear and Pinkalicious.
Ooh, Brown Bear and Pinkalicious. That's nice.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
I'm Ariel. I'm from Minnesota. I have a child, so our favorite book to read right now is I think it's probably Love You So Much or I Love You, something like that. So it's really cute.
Thank you, Ariel, for sharing. I have that book too, I believe.
Hi, my name is Liz, and our favorite book is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Welcome, Liz. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's everyone. All right. Well, welcome, everyone. So, like I said, I'm going to go through this a little quickly. Live classroom expectations, hopefully most of you know by now what they are. Just want to reiterate real quick. So if you're attending the live session, you're expected to engage with myself and fellow students about the course concepts. Basically, the purpose of these live sessions for open dialogue and questions are always encouraged. And if you can't attend the live session, or I think somebody had a question about only attending the live session for 30 minutes, I will post the video for the next day, and then you will have to complete the live session quiz to earn the credit. Either just to be here for the live session, because if you participate, you will get full credit and you won't have to do anything. But if you don't, then you must complete the live session quiz and write stuff in paragraph format, just to make it fair for everyone as far as participation. Any questions? Right here, and seeing that there's no questions, I am going to continue. All right. And yes, Jackie, I'm going to try to be quick, so because I know that you said you only have about 30 minutes. So just want to go over important reminders. So as you guys all know, that the last day of class is approaching really quick. The last day of class is Tuesday, February 11th. Which is a week from today. I will not accept any assignments after 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time for any reason at all. So the Module 5 discussion responses are due on Saturday, on February 8th. And then the module course project, lesson part 4, is due this Sunday coming up now, February 9th. So make sure that you guys have that in mind. And then you also have the field experience report that's due also with on the 9th. Like I said, all field experience hours should be documented, and you must have at least 30 hours of field experience or you will not pass the class. If you are in bad shape, please reach out to me as soon as possible, because you don't have much time left, and I want to make sure that you guys all succeed. So please reach out if you are having any barriers trying to complete that. The Module 6 discussion is due on February 11th, which is the last day of class. No responses to Peter or myself are required. And then you also will have the Module 6 experience report that is also due Tuesday, December 11th. So you guys all have a big course load ahead of you for this week. So just make sure to be proactive and start getting on these assignments so you can stay ahead of the game as the due date is approaching. Checking in, how are things going so far? Any key takeaways for the Module 4? Anything from Module 4 that you learned, and are you reading the assignments and the announcements, and do you know your grade? I feel like everyone has a pretty good grasp on this class. Like I said, it's an observational class, so it's pretty much what you're seeing in the field. But yeah, just want to open up for conversation.
Everything is going well. And being in this field for quite some time, it's kind of nice to go through these courses and recap on some things that maybe I got a little more comfortable with or didn't pay a lot of attention to, or maybe we just get in this groove and it seems like, I don't know, you know, it's a daily thing, and just a refresh in through these courses is so helpful.
No, I'm glad to hear, Jennifer. I'm glad to hear that you're actually that you're actually enjoying them and that it's kind of like a refresher to you. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, it looks like nobody can hear us.
Yeah,
Or
I don't know.
Renita can't.
Can everybody else hear us? I know Renita's having some trouble. It could be her microphone too, maybe possibly not being connected. So Jackie could hear us, so it must be a.
Okay.
So Renita, in order to talk, you just make sure to unmute your microphone. If you wanted to talk that way. That looks like everybody else can. Anyone else? Go ahead. Don't be shy.
I know my grade and everything. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate like everything that you give us feedback on, and I've really learned a lot. And I actually just accepted a teaching position in that I start on February 17th, like working with this class and just being able to put it into practice. Going into my interview, like I had to go into the class and talk to the kids and everything, so that I think working with this kind of helped me.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you for your feedback, Ariel. That really does makes my heart happy that you know, you are enjoying it, and that the feedback that I give, you're actually applying that for that, applying to an actual situation, and you know, and you got a teaching position, which is really good to hear. Congrats. Anyone else?
Okay, so yeah, I have a good, it's a good review to have this class and learn different ways on doing things, and I think I'm okay on my grade because I did have a couple bad weeks and my wife brought it up.
You know, it happens to have some of those bad weeks. You know, one of the biggest things I always say to all the students that I have is, if you are having or experiencing difficulties or there's barriers, reach out to me right away. One of the things that I will take in consideration, but I don't really like, is when there's something that comes up right at the very end in a 5.5 week course, and there's a bunch of assignments due. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
Renita, I can hear you perfectly fine. Hello?
I can't see anything or hear anything.
You can't hear me? I could hear you. Well, as Renita is having technical difficulties, yes, Renita, please try to log back in and log back out. Sometimes if you refresh, it may help with that problem of trying to see and trying to figure the audio out as well. Anything else, ladies? All right. Um, Hearing and seeing that there is nothing else, I'm going to continue on. Just for the sake of time and knowing that everybody's schedules are a little bit different, I want to talk a little bit about the course project for lesson plan part 4. Just wanted to go over it a little bit. So you guys will be completing your lesson plan that you have been
Still can't hear
working.
anything.
Can you not hear me? Sorry. I'm going to just keep continuing on until Renita figures it out. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to go over the course project for this week. You will be completing your lesson plan that you've been working on all term. What you want to do is open your Module 4 Comprehensive Lesson Plan assignment, which should already include the components from the Module 2, 3, and 4 lesson plan assignments. Please begin by going through the feedback that I left you on your previous course project assignments and then making corrections and additions where necessary. You can view my feedback on previous assignments by clicking on the My Grades tab on the left side menu of the course homepage and then clicking on the assignment. You can view in the text notes by scrolling over the highlighted areas. You can also see additional notes by clicking on the rubric. And then once you have made the necessary corrections, you can open the Module 5 Comprehensive Lesson Plan template. You want to copy and paste the entire Module 5 template onto the bottom of your revised Module 4 Comprehensive Lesson Plan. You complete the Module 5 template and submit the assignment as one document. And then for additional support on how to use copy and paste to create one lesson plan, you can view you can view the short video that is available in the instruction for the assignment. And then if you do encounter any problems as you complete this week's assignment, feel free to reach out to me. But one of the biggest things I want to stress is make sure it is one document with all those different components. Does anyone have any questions about the course project? All right, looks like nobody has any questions. So if you are viewing this recording online, please, one, make sure that you answer any of the questions that I asked the other students. And two, if you are having difficulties, please reach out to me about submitting your course project lesson plan. So I want to take some time. Last week you guys talked a little bit about, we went over chapter 6. You guys were supposed to read about the different learning styles and teaching strategies. Basically, learning styles are how individuals perceive and process information. There are 3 main channels mostly frequently used by individuals taking on information. Seeing, visual, hearing, auditory, and touching, kinesthetic. There's those different sensory channels. And basically, I wanted to stress that individuals who learn best by seeing are usually visual learners. Those who learn best by hearing are usually classified as auditory learners. And then those who learn best by touching and moving, like I said, is classified as kinesthetic learners. Basically, for me, I learn best by doing. I have to touch it. I have to actually do it in order to learn it. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she has to see. Um, she, she understands, she could see something, and she's very observant of details, a lot of details that I would never be observant with. Um, and she usually has a bigger vocabulary too, which makes it very kind of some of the things that are characteristics of a visual learner. Also, you know, my daughter, on the other hand, she learns best by hearing. She has, and this is also with extended vocabulary, she enjoys conversations and asking lots and lots and lots and lots of questions. I think any 4-year-old would, but she does ask a lot of questions, a lot of why and a lot of how. So yeah, and she is also has great attention to detail. So, you know, having said that, how do you learn is the first question. And what is your reason you think that? And then another question is, what strategies do you use to promote learning in the classroom, children's learning? I know basically from being a teacher for several years that I think that there is not just one learning style. I think, especially in the classroom, we need to have all three of those to meet the needs of our children and the different ways that they learn. So having said that, having time to process, think about how do you learn and why do you think that? And what strategies do you use to promote children's learning? Like I said, I would like to hear your guys' voices. So yeah, whenever you guys have a chance, go ahead and share.
So I'm a visual learner, and I work with the 2-year-olds, and we do a lot of hands-on because that's what gets their attention the most. And it helps me out since I'm a visual hands-on person, kind of.
So what strategies do you use to promote children's learning?
I like to do the stuff before I teach it to the kids. And I like to, well, like I work with it. A lot of the times what I do is, since I have 2 children, I do it with them at home, and then I see if it works. Then I do it with the kids at work because I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Sure, so it's kind of trial and error.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for sharing, Jennifer, or Jackie.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Of course.
I learn best hands-on. I got like a couple of them.
You're pretty balanced?
Yeah, I learn best by hands-on, visual, and audio. So it's like I got like a couple.
So you learn all 3 ways, basically.
Yeah.
Nice. And what strategies do you use in the classroom to promote children's learning?
I do like hands-on learning, like teach them, like do like play with Play-Doh and make dough out of like flour and stuff.
Sure.
And I usually do music with them also.
Yeah, music is good, very good for auditory.
And with visual, I use like flashcards.
Nice. Flashcards are also good too. I know a lot of preschoolers and preschools, they use visual schedules too as well. Really
Yeah,
helps
and
the kids with transitions.
yeah, and they good for like the kids that really don't listen. They like to look at the cars to tell them what are you saying to them. Like
Hmm.
they trying to tell them to stop and they not listening, so you show them the stop sign.
Yes.
That helps
Yes.
a lot.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Renita.
You're welcome.
I would say
I am a visual and hands-on learner. And in our classroom, I do the see, hear, and do. So they see it, we talk about it, and then we do it, whether it's activities or sensory, but there's like they intermix together so they can learn about it in different ways. Even projects, they see it, we talk about how to do it, and then they do it.
That's a great way, Jennifer, of how to handle that. I like that hear, see, do. It's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I would say I'm a visual learner. And for the kids in my class, I work with like kindergarten and first grade primarily. But when I'm explaining like how to do something, I normally write it up on the board. But I also have like pictures to go with it so that they kind of see the expectation of each step and like the final thing.
Yeah, pictures really help children understand what needs to be done, especially ESL learners, English as a second language learners. Really helps. Those pictures really help them too, of knowing if their English is not as great, what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And so yeah, that's a great way. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? So Elizabeth, you said that you learn hands-on and visual. Can you please explain why you learn hands-on and visual, and what strategies do you use to promote children's learning? And remember, if you are viewing this online, please make sure that you answer these two questions in paragraph format. Anybody else? All right, hearing and seeing that there is nobody else who participate. I'm going to keep going. So last thing of tonight was a Chapter 8 case study. We are kind of going through over this right now in the discussions. There is a lot of good information in chapter regarding collaborating with families and communities. You know, there's different things from community outreach, parent conferences, collaborating with school districts for transition to kindergarten. There's parent night, volunteering, just different things, different gender specific stuff. So there is a lot of good information. One of the things that, you know, we can't be really responsible for is we always should know that the parents are the child's first teachers, and basically they are ultimately responsible for their children, what they know upon entering school. It is our responsibility as teachers to be sensitive to the families that do not attend different things and different school functions. You know, having said that, there was a case study about the teenage mother being single that I'm going to read because I'm guessing many of you probably have not read it. And then some of the questions that you need to answer regarding that is, what are your thoughts regarding the case study and how does your program connect with families to the community? Remember, I also like interactive talking, so please make sure to unmute your microphone to talk. So yeah, I'm going to read this so you guys all could hear it, and then you guys will have time to reflect and answer. Once we do that, we will wrap it up for tonight. So the case study was being a teen mother and single. So it kind of goes like this. So as I reflect back and move forward, there is no doubt that I was a troubled teen. Upon graduation from high school, I found out I was pregnant. What were my options? What would my life hold for my child and me? As a young Indigenous working class woman, would I become another casualty of societal inequities that would position my child to follow a path of poverty and dispowerment? Yes, I had a loving family, and yes, I had a personal drive, but I did not have wealth, racial, or gender privilege. Because of my perseverance and familial love, I entered an urban community college. There I met a faculty mentor who helped me empower myself. Without his belief in me, I may not have been able to believe in myself. My daughter was born at the end of my first year. I was worried about how I could continue school care for my newborn. My mentor encouraged me to bring her to school when my family was unable to help. He would watch her in his office while I attended class. I had an academic home. Not all my experiences were so positive because I was a teenage mom. I was often talked down to, expected to do poorly academically, and it was assumed that I provided inadequate care for my child. For example, I was strongly encouraged by the college to attend parenting classes. Although I learned valuable information about the importance of play and had wonderful opportunities to learn songs and games with my child, I was also positioned as the teenage mother, the at-risk parent. These educators failed to understand that my lived experiences gave me an incredible life tool. I was raised by a hardworking single mother and a loving family. My parental funds of knowledge came from a loving community that cherished each child as a sacred gift. We might not have always been lavish with extravagant gifts, but we were always immersed in love. Now, in reflecting back, I realized how much I believed in the power of fierce hopefulness through mentorship and love. For me, the stereotypical portrayals of teen moms and societal inequities were what could have been my roadblocks. I urge all teachers and caregivers to examine their biases and about teen moms and the social issues that impact the lives of young mothers. Every mom, as well as every child, deserves empowering spaces where they can succeed. So now, having said that, and listening to the case study, reflect on these questions. What are your thoughts regarding the case study, and how does your program connect with families? What can you do in a situation like this to help a mother, a single mother, or maybe there's somebody different in has a similar, maybe a similar upbringing or something that's different. I just want to hear what you guys have to think about this. What are your thoughts, and what does your program do to connect with families?
My thoughts are all teen parents, well, single teen parents can have a active life and graduate and make something out of themselves, even though they did have a child at an early age. And number two is our program has like a family caseworker or something that helps out with in the community, that helps them get them like places to go to help them.
Nice. Yeah, so we have something like that in our program where, we are Head Start. So we have family service workers who do, it's kind of like a caseworker who helps the parents, provides different resources and services to help better the family. So I do understand, Anita, where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Mike, I actually was a young single mom of 2 children, and when I moved back from Florida, enrolled my children into the Head Start program, and we had home visits and things, and if it wasn't for that support, I don't know how I would have gotten through it. And so this story hits close because it's true. When times were tough, they were there. And I tried to implement those things into my program. I have some single moms. I do offer scholarships. I'll buy a pack of diapers or something here and there just to help out, and just those simple things are a huge help, and people don't realize that all the time. So I really just try to be the support for the kids and for the parents as well. It's tough being a single parent.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how parents do it, being a single parent, single mom, single dad, whatever the case may be. It's very, very difficult. Thanks for sharing that. That is really, really touching, Jennifer, that you shared that. Okay.
Yeah, Head Start is a really good program. They do have a lot of support, so you're lucky to work with something like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great that we have different departments that collaborate for the better well-being for the parents and the families.
Yeah.
I actually am a single mom, so the story kind of hit for me because I connect with it. I'm still a single mom. My child is 3.5 now, but it's really awesome for me because our program actually works with the county to give scholarships for parents single parents or parents who don't make enough actually come to the school. So that's kind of a nice thing that we have.
Well, that's great that there's scholarships available in your program. That does help out quite a bit too when there is that support, especially from the school, knowing that there is a need too out there.
Right. We also, like, during the Christmas time, we wrap parents, like, presents. The parents will bring in, like, presents for, like, we have in the community, parents or single moms, for diapers and everything. So we wrap up, like, diapers and, like, little to give to the parents.
That's awesome. That's really cool that you guys have that support like that. I know in our program too, we also have for not just single moms, but for families who don't have car seats, because with living in a city, you'll see a lot of children that are not buckled, that don't have the proper car seat for the child, and we provide and we give them, we wrote a grant, me and my colleague last year, and got 25 car seats that were available for families this year, that actually were in need. And it goes a long way because, the biggest thing for us as a program is we want to have the best safety for our children, whatever that looks like, and try to help the family out what we can and when we can. And felt like that was a pretty good grant to write in lieu of that. So yeah, awesome. Thanks. Anybody else? Jackie, Liz, do you guys have anything to add? Just going to take a moment or two to see if they are going to share. So yeah, connecting with families and communities is really, really big. It's the foundation for what we do. Trying to understand the parents, family, and the dynamics really, really helps. Really helps when you actually understand the family dynamics and trying to be supportive. I know a lot of times it's easy for us to judge and assume the worst in people, just how the world is and how we are as human beings. I think, sometimes if you just step back and think and, really reflect on what does this teacher really need, and what does this family really, really need? It could go a really long way to showing that compassion for those parents that are struggling. And the biggest thing is, sometimes parents don't open up to you too because they might be embarrassed about their situation. And that's kind of another thing. So, just trying to really help the parent understand, in a non-judgmental way, knowing that, this stays between us, and making sure that you do what's best for the family. So yeah. So a couple other things. We also have I think in the chat box, Jackie and Liz were talking about families. Centers helps out families with cook meals and support them with clothes and other things. That's also awesome. We also do not stuff to that extent, but we do have a food bank that is right next to one of our programs that I know a lot of the parents do go to, which does help, but still, I mean, trying to get to know each family on an individual basis, and providing them the resources that they need in order to be successful is really huge. And just, always stepping back and thinking, this child might be in my program for 12 hours, but are they in your program for 12 hours because their mom or dad is working full time just to make ends meet? I mean, I always want to have that consideration and have that empathy for them. So, yeah, I think Jackie said a couple things. So yeah, it seems like a lot of you guys now are, we're single parents, and I get it. My sister is a single parent right now too. She was married and got divorced, and it happens. And the dynamics do shift, and it becomes a lot more difficult, especially if you are doing it by yourself and you don't have anyone near you. Thus, it is a struggle. I do understand. But like I said, the best thing you could do is just to really support your families by getting to know them on an individual basis, and having that empathy and that compassion for them is huge. Well, thanks everyone for sharing. Does anyone have any questions? If you guys don't have any questions, or if you do have any questions that you might have later on, please email me or give me a text, let me know. I would suggest you guys to make sure to get your stuff done, be proactive, because next Tuesday is going to come up very quickly, and you do have a big caseload, workload for this week. Also, just one reminder that the initial discussion posts are due tonight, so make sure to get them in so you don't lose points on them. Anything else, feel free to email, text, however you want to get a hold of me. Other than that, I enjoyed having you guys all in my class. I wish you guys great endeavors into your future, and hopefully maybe one day our paths will cross. So having said that, in order to get points tonight, just sign your name at the end, and you will receive points once you just make sure to type it in the chat box, just your name so I can write it down so you could get points for this live session. Thank you guys.